So I heard through the grapevine that Ariel isn't the little innocent little mermaid that everybody thinks she is. At a very young age, she was sexually molested by none other than her father, King Triton. Well, that led to more. Yeah, she's a slut. So she stayed with the incest thing and started messing around with her sisters. And then she moved on to Flounder. And then Sebastian. Well, she caught crabs from Sebastian. Well, Little Mermaid, Ariel, was getting sick of fish sticks, so she went and saw Ursula. Well, Ursula got crabs, but turned Ariel into a human. So, watch out. She's human now. Stay away from the crabby fire crotch.
Cinderella is a paranoid schizophrenic. Yeah, word is that her stepmom found her locked in her room, having deep conversations with mice and the birds and shit. She even was like raving about how the birds and the mice like made her this dress. And speaking of dresses, she claims she has this fairy godmother that made her this fabulous sparkling dress. And apparently this fairy godmother even turned a pumpkin, you know, like that you eat, into a fucking carriage. As if. That bitch is crazy.
A little birdie told me that the chief, Powhatan, her father, yeah, caught her with a massive amount of opium stashed, no less, underneath her loincloth. I know, right? Who would have thought? Well, he forced her to go into TP prison. While in there, she learned how to grow marijuana. Well, at least if she got caught, she spent less time in that TP prison. But now she's out, still having to go to TP rehab. And, well, I don't know if she's gonna make it.
I heard through the grapevine that Cinderella's evil stepmother, Lady Tremaine, yeah, she's into bestiality. Her cat Lucifer really likes peanut butter. But you didn't hear from me.
Captain Hook and Judge Frollo, they're secret butt buddies. Total fags for each other. Frollo's a masochist. Hook is obviously the sadist. They're like made for each other. If that weren't bad enough, they're freaking pedophiles on top of it. Just ask Peter Pan and Quasimodo. Oh, and by the way, the word is that Frollo really likes that Hook. I'm just saying.
Finding out today from another little birdie. Ursula, yeah, she's a descendant of the Loch Ness Monster. This little birdie had told me that they attended a family reunion, and that is when she had found out that they were related. Well, later on that night, they both got smashed together and tentacle raped Flotsam and Jetsam. Also told by this little birdie, some Donald Duck did that to Goofy and Sora when they went there too. I don't know. It must be something in the water.
Oh my God. So I just heard this from the grapevine. Jasmine, the little Arabian princess, she's also into bestiality. Except her bestiality is on a bigger scale. So, her tiger, Raja? Yeah, she's into tigers. Her tiger, Raja, is her sex slave. Well, she got bored with Raja, supposedly, and took a trip to India just so she could hunt down Shere Khan and make him her sex slave. Some crazy shit. Didn't hear it from me.
Word is that Snow White is a raging coke whore. I mean, why the hell do you think that they call her Snow White? Yeah, she makes all those little dwarves of hers go plant the coca plants, harvest it, process it. Those bitches work their asses off for her, and she just snorts it all up. On the apple that the evil queen gave her, yeah, that was laced with like 100% pure cocaine. She eats it, ODs, that's why she passes out. Yeah, it wasn't the prince that woke her up. It was the withdrawal symptoms.
Alice in Wonderland? No. Try Alice in Shermland. Yeah, you know her story that she proclaimed about following this white rabbit down this hole leading into this wonderful land? Come to find out that actual land was just a big old shroom village. Well, she happened to take one too many. And well, she sat there hallucinating the whole time, you know, sitting there saying that she had, you know, talked to this Cheshire cat, you know, and then this smoking caterpillar. And then she goes on and talks about there's these walking and talking decks of cards. She was found sitting under the tree, all ditzy-like, talking to her cat Dinah, and convinced that Dinah was the Cheshire Cat.
You didn't hear it from me, but Tinkerbell's so-called fairy dust? Yeah, it's crystal meth. Peter Pan, yeah, he thinks he can fly and he's forever young. No, he's a meth addict. He's like 50 years old in real life. And the kids, yeah, they think they can fly too. The parents are scared to death. Those kids are tripping balls. And thinking they can see fairies. And, oh, I can fly. No, you can't fly. If you jump out of that 2-story window, Wendy, you're gonna die. You will be British soup. British blood soup.
It shouldn't surprise anyone out there that Shan Yu has a serious case of roid rage going on. Word is that the reason that he's such a dick is because his little falcon pet thing, yeah, flies off, gets him all the imported steroids he wants. Goes on a total roid rage bender and just starts killing soldiers. Even if they're girls.
We all know that Hades is a hothead. Well, I heard from a little birdie, he wasn't always like that. He used to be a nice, kind, loving kindergarten teacher. He had the perfect life. Then he went and married the Queen of Hearts. And every day he came home to the bitching and nagging and always having to hear her go, you should just off with their heads of all those kindergarten students. Finally, after enough of all that, he finally snapped and actually did kill all of his kindergarten students. 2 of which were reborn in the underworld, and Hades affectionately calls them Pain and Panic. Come to find out, the other ones were reborn, and Peter Pan now took them to Neverland to become the Lost Boys. A little birdie told me that Yzma, yeah, you know, Krunk's little mistress lady, Yeah, well, you know, she is bulimic. Yeah, well, you could probably tell just by looking at her yourself. You know, cooks her all this food. You know, constantly. And she sits there and she eats it, but when he goes back to the kitchen, she throws it all up. She really needs to get help for her problem. You know, because now it's at the point where she's so weak, she has to have Kronk carry her everywhere.
Any characters that you would like to hear us rant about, bitch about, air out their dirty laundry, leave a comment. Let us know.